Space travel will be soon everyday reality, and we will calmly fly in the spaceships to our work, whether you're an accountant or a minor accountant. So why not to prepare for this in advance? Today on the review we have the board game Planetoid by author John Mitling. It is provided for the review by the Portal Dragon publisher. This is a game about the extraction of the resources on a certain small planet. This game is from 1 to 4 players, and during the game you have to dig up resources from the bowls of the planet and then take them to the station, trying to collect the most needed combinations. The game uses mechanics of memory and the collection of sets. Well, of course it can do without more complicated rules, about which we will talk a little bit later, but now the time has come to take a look on the game a little bit closer. Before the start of the game you need to make Planetoid from different parts and place into its holes special tokens with resources. Bonus tokens placed next to the board. And also each player receives a personal board. It has two sides, basic and advanced. First of all we will look at the basic side. In his turn, the player can perform one of the 3 available actions. For example, drill action lets you to get resources using your knowledge about the location of tokens or hoping for a luck. In this case, the player takes one resource token from Planetoid, open or closed doesn't matter, and this token is placed in a special storage for a cargo in the spaceship, and then you need to flip all the closed tokens on the Planetoid located orthogonally near the extracted tile. In addition, the player can scan the surface and then he needs to take any 2 tokens, look what kind of resources are on them, and then put them back, trying to remember the location and of course get an energy token for this. In total, the player can have 2 of these energy tokens, and for each of them, player can perform one of the additional actions. Either look at 2 more tokens on the board or make an additional drilling of the neighboring resource, and then it may be necessary to open closed tokens again. And of course, all additional actions can be played in one turn. When the storage of the ship is filled with cargo, or perhaps earlier, player can perform the return action, and then all collected tokens from the ship can be sent to the base. However, the government requires you to obtain certain resources, and then, when you perform this action, you need to check bonus tokens, and if the combination of resources matches, the player also receives a bonus token. The whole game in Planetoid lasts either until there are no face-down tokens on the Planetoid, or when all shipping bonus tokens are taken. Then all players count their number of points on their resources and the shipping bonuses and determine the winner. In principle, everything is quite logical and simple in this game, but nevertheless, if such a variant of the game seems boring for you, you can simply turn over the player board and play with the advanced rules. In this variant, at the beginning of the turn, each player receives 3 energy tokens, which he can spend on the activating actions. By the way, actions now become 4 types, and each of them can be performed in 3 different ways while spending a different amount of energy, but only one action of each type during the turn. Actions now divided by strengths, and the player needs to pay more energy to have more powerful actions. For example, for 1 token, you can scan turning over 2 different tokens on the board face up. But for the 3 energy, a player can look on 4 tokens, not turning them up. And now there appears an opportunity to buy system upgrade tiles that provide even more different actions. These system upgrades are placed in the 4th row under the player board. Well, as you maybe have noticed, some of the actions are forced to lay out special tokens with a cross. This is the damage tokens, and when it lies on the action, this system becomes damaged and you need to fix it first, activating the first column and removing the damage token. In addition, there are bonus cards in advanced mode. Each player receives 2 of these cards at the beginning of the game, and at the end of each game the player selects one of these 2 cards and puts it into the center of the table, and now all the players can receive points on these cards. Well, in addition to fighting for the leadership in mining with opponents, you can also play Planetoid and solo, and in this mode you will have to play against the aliens represented in the game with these special tokens. And I must say that is a really different game. These crazy aliens capture every single spot on this field, trying to grab all the resources and not looking that they are spawned almost every round. They also damage your system and on your board, and you are racing with them for drilling all valuable resources from Planetoid to fulfill the mission tasks. And I must say that was really very hard work for me. Planetoid is a really interesting board game. For memory and set collection and playing according to the basic rules, you always need to weigh the pros and cons of blind drilling, because in fact you can take a token with a deuce and open force to opponents that they can easily take for themselves on their round. Well, of course, for this there is a scan action, which in fact can be considered as the light drilling, because it brings an additional energy token that can be spent on the additional drilling, but a little bit later and with more guarantees. Yes, it is clear to everyone that the basic rules are more straightforward, but if you want more flexibility and variability, there is an advanced rules in Planetoid, and this is exactly what you are looking for. In fact, you can yourself decide how strong your action should be. If you want to look only 1 token, or maybe 3 at once, but then you also get a system upgrade, but you will have to spend 3 energy tokens at once, or you need to move all cargo, or just 1 token that interferes right combination for bonus tiles. You have the right to decide what and when is the best to do, and if you try, you even can perform up to 3 actions per round. Yes, of course, all these tricks do not change the basic direction of the game, that you just need to collect the resource tokens from the Planetoid while trying to fulfill the bonus tokens and the bonus cards. And that is a very good decision, especially the way that these cards come into the game, that all players choose one of these cards, for which all players will receive points in the end of the game. And generally speaking, that is all for Planetoid. If this review was helpful for you, thumb up and subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to leave a comment under this video. Like board games and play them. And today with you was Beaver and Board Games. See you next time.